Oliver Holt, Manchester United torched stability. And for what? On May 12, 2013, when Sir Alex Ferguson walked out to the centre circle at Old Trafford after taking charge of his final home game, against Swansea City, and gave his valedictory speech to fans who had gorged on his successes, some accepted there might be a bump in the road ahead for Manchester United. Few, however, foresaw that before the end of 2018, United would be searching for their sixth boss in 5.5 years, derided as a basket case of a club, desperate for a manager who would not only win back their respect but also wrest back their soul. The Glazer family and their patsy, Ed Woodward, have thrown so much away so quickly and so carelessly at a club that dominated English football for so long that it beggars belief. The inventory of everything they have torched since Ferguson retired includes stability, success, grace, class, dignity and Juan Mata. The inventory of everything they have gained includes a boatload of mediocrity, an official global lubricant partner, a reputation for wages largesse that measures 9.5 on the Peter Ridsdale Scale, and an exorbitantly rewarded non-playing Chilean who only seems interested in his dogs, which is apartment because that's exactly where his career went the moment he arrived at Old Trafford. In that context, the self-immolating reign of Jose Mourinho at Old Trafford was a symptom of United's ills, not the cause. Mourinho was on the downslope of his career before Woodward appointed him, a man consumed by bitterness and resentments, a man who showed every sign of having fallen out of love with the game and the men who played it, a man whose playing style was outmoded and dour. But when Woodward, United's executive vice chairman, chose Mourinho, he just saw a name. He likes names. Big names sell things. They make money. They move merchandise. They sell tickets. Glory? Please. Don't be so naive. It's the profits, stupid. At United, they have taken the glory game and turned it into the Glazer game. Only one currency matters, and it's not trophies. When Mourinho was fired last week, reality bit. United aren't getting any closer to recreating the glory days. They're getting further away. They're getting weaker and weaker, and Manchester City and Liverpool are getting stronger and stronger. Compare the quality of the players at Old Trafford and the Etihad, say, and there's a chasm between them. Come the summer, it will be 6 years since United last won the league, a hiatus that seemed unthinkable not so long ago. Yet Mourinho and Woodward brought the club so low that, right now, it does not sound outlandish to say it could be another 6 years before they win it again. Much more of this, and City fans will be stringing up a banner at the Etihad like the one that used to be displayed at the Stretford End, showing how many years it is since United last won the title. When Ferguson left, it was hard to imagine a decline like this, but it has happened. It is still happening. So what does Woodward do now? Resign is the option that springs most readily to mind. Admit that while he may have been a brilliant commercial director, he sucks in this role. Quite how he's still in a job when he has driven United this far south is staggering, until you catch yourself and remember that the Glazers are still raking in the profits, and that is really all that matters to them and Woodward. Woodward has, after all, presided over 3 disastrous appointments in David Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Mourinho. He's the guy who bought all the most expensive players he could find and thought that would fix everything. He's the guy who thinks money buys you love in football. He's the guy who wears an expression of constant surprise that at United it hasn't. Woodward is the man without a plan. There's no method in player recruitment at United. There's no consistency. Woodward's running round in a blindfold, trying to pin the tail on the donkey. He's a guy who is painfully out of his depths, a money man who is being chewed up by the football world and spat out. He's the guy who buys a pound sign, not a player. He's the guy who buys a reputation, not a manager. He's the guy who tried to copy Real Madrid's transfer policy and brought us Galacticos minus. He's an overblown city boy who got the keys to the biggest club in the world and took them from title winners to also-rans, but the money keeps rolling in, so, frankly, who cares? That's the most alarming thing for United fans. Deep down, they've always known it. They're stuck in the clutches of owners who are all about taking money out of the football club, not putting it in. The infrastructure of the club is frayed. Compared with other giants like Bayern Munich, Barcelona and Real Madrid, they look tired. They have been wallowing in complacency since Ferguson left. Mourinho was only sacked once it became apparent United were going to struggle to qualify for the Champions League next season. Think about that. United cared about fourth, not first. That's the really sobering thing. At any other club of United's size, Mourinho would have been gone long ago, but United are different. The club are in a state of atrophy. United don't have an identity anymore. Nobody can ever take away their glorious history, but Woodward and the Glazers are stripping it of all its romance. The appointment of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as caretaker manager is a half-hearted recognition of that. It's a half-hearted attempt to win something back. It's an acknowledgement of something they should have done a long time ago. Solskjaer has shown more enthusiasm for the job in 2 days than Mourinho did in 2 years. He has talked already of an amazing squad of players. He has said they are all quality. He has given the impression he is happy to be back in Manchester, too, unlike Mourinho, who could not even bear to buy or rent a property in the city. Solskjaer's appointment is a reminder that United had their own version of the Anfield boot room right there and ready to go, but Woodward threw all that away. He should have made Ryan Giggs the manager on a permanent basis after Moyes was sacked, but instead he allowed United's class of '92, men who lived and breathed the club, who loved it, who knew what it took to maintain its traditions, to be marginalized and then lost. It was left to ex-players like Gary Neville and Paul Scholes to observe United's decline from the TV studio and to provide a commentary on the fall of the club they had done so much to build into the colossus of English football, and hint as best they could at the incompetence of Woodward and his cronies. Mourinho painted Neville and Scholes as the enemies of the club, but everybody else knew they were telling the truth, which is that Woodward and the Glazers are killing the Manchester United we once knew. What Oliver Holt wrote in February 2016 when Jose Mourinho's Manchester United appointment was first mooted, Mourinho as the next boss has got Woodward's fingerprints all over it. In the short term, it would buy Woodward time with an increasingly disillusioned fan base. In the short term, it's a crowd pleaser that would make him look good. In the short term, it would silence dissent. But is it really a solution to United's problems? The suspicion is that Mourinho would just bring more of the same. The Portuguese is a modern version of Louis van Gaal. He is not going to bring back flowing, attacking football. If he comes, he will bring discord, cheap shots and efficiency. He may bring trophies, too, but he will not bring back the magic. Mourinho would be a risk, especially after the way he lost the power to motivate his Chelsea players. He is one of the greats of the game, but if it all turned sour for him at a club where he was revered, it could happen at United.